Welcome back everyone to another episode on our stock review. So continue from last stock review video, we mentioned that we are going to look into several stocks which are quite interesting as well as wanted to invest into it if there's any opportunity or any discounted opportunities, and also to explain the reason why I am so interested and into this kind of a stock or company. So we will be sort of deviate from Russell 2000 for a bit, just to look at some of the very good companies as well as to provide more exciting terms and also to provide a more benefits in terms of showing high quality stocks to our viewers. So without further ado, let's get right into this. It's Visa, ticker name V. Let's get right into it. So over here we have the Visa, and without thinking any further, the stock price has been surging up ever since. So it has been reaching its all-time high, and right now, is it a best value to buy? I wouldn't think that it's a very good place to buy, especially when it just hit all-time highs and staying above that. So the tax of willing to own one share is during the fact when it's around here. So this is when July of 2024. However, I was hoping that it would actually hit the 150 EMA so that I can have a more better safety margins, as well as the structure makes more sense. So, but then it just does not hit or reach that level. So without further ado, let's get right into their financial fundamentals. So over here we have the revenue for Visa, and we can actually observe a very long time ago, I just have not been seeing such very predictable and consistently increasing and showing growth in terms of their revenue, just signifying that the growth, the sales, as well as the company business is doing well. And as for their net income, is also in a very similar pattern of high predictability in increasing form, very good in terms of their profits, being able to show that the companies are generating in terms of their better. So company is actually a generating machine of cash as well as profits. So over here we have the free cash flow of Visa, also signifying a very good with positive free cash flow and in a very increasing trend as well. So what the company do is that Visa is seen as on cards, credit cards or your debit cards, and is similar competitors, which is going to be the MasterCard. So what they provide is in terms of financial services, and what we're going to look at right now is going to be their ratios. And the reason behind why Visa is that one high quality stock that I would like to invest and hold long term for is because of its very high demand, as well as it's one of the larger provider in terms of financial services, cards, debit card, credit cards, which is widely seen in today's economic. And whenever you go out, and me myself, I also have Visa debit cards as well as credit cards, which I do think that in terms of financial sectors, it is also one of the very high demand sector whereby when there are business outside such as AI, cloud services, constructions, there will be requirements of transaction. So who will be handling this kind of transactions? It will be banks and financial companies such as the Visa, which will be able to provide that platform to handle a very large amount of cash flows, as well as in terms of transactions and payments. So I think Visa is going to bet that one company that will be in high demand despite in the future changes or the future trade or the changing of future trends. So now let's look at the profit margin of this company. Is also a very good situation, and whereby it's showing a increasing, staying above 50%, that which is very good. And in terms of their balance sheets, we have the total current assets of 38k with their total current liability at 34k. So it will be able to cover up the liabilities. However, it just does not provide that very high buffer in terms of 2 times the assets than their current liabilities. As for their net cash, is also in a negative form, showing that there is more debts than their cash. But this situation is usually very fair and normal for financial service company because of their situation, lending loans and so on. So their status will always be in terms of negative. So for the ratios, we have the PE ratios. So the median of the PE ratios is actually at 12.04. Right now it's just sitting at 7.8, signifying that the stock is actually at a very high, very premium price, and it is better for us to wait until it's being discounted or to buy cheap at a lower price. As for their debt to equity ratio is sitting below 1, and we also have the ROE sitting above 15%, showing an increasing form, as well as ROIC above 50% in a consistently growing form as well. So lastly, we'll be looking at their economic mode score for this company, which is going to be white mode by Morningstar, also strong white mode signals by Group Focus due to their high profitability scores, better profit margins, which we just observed, as well as Seeking Alpha that describe Visa as a toll collector of global comments with stable growth, so a very positive mode view. And also we have the view of the economic mode score by the AI tools itself, serving a 9.5 out of 10, classifying it as a very white mode. So because of their network effect, global scales, and trust, make it one of the strongest white mode business globally. So that is all for the financial fundamentals and all the observation that we have made. So the reason behind why I want to get into this stock is because of its very wide mode, high profitability, high ROE, ROICs, and debt-wise is also in a very safe zone whereby they have large pile of cash which will be able to cover up all those liabilities if needed. But one situation and one issue with this company is that it's overvalued and it's sitting at a very high expensive price near the all-time high. And what I want to do next is to wait for it to come down to this region where I just drew down to this 150-200 EMA level, which is around 280-270, in order for me to buy cheap into this company, and I will just hold long term until the end of the day, and hoping that this company will continue its legacy of being able to provide that very high profit margins as well as cash generating machines. So I guess that is all for today's video, and I hope that this video helps. And for usually this kind of video will be shorter because of high quality stocks, and invest in what you know is the most criteria step one in terms of investment, because by knowing what you know, you can easily identify what is right, what is wrong, and also if the business is increasing, is doing well, or just doing bad in a sense. And if you're interested in this company, you can do your due diligence and research before making any decisions. And I hope you have a great weekend ahead, and I will see you guys on the next stock review. Goodbye.